I cannot believe that actually exists. If you're wondering what that was, if you're wondering what those beautiful tunes were, that music is someone on the internet did this scary AI remake of Chala Head Chala with Frank Sinatra singing it. The legendary Frank Sinatra, the singer, sang Chala Head Chala. Like, that's literally what this is. Like, somebody sent it to me and I was like, they were like, oh, have you heard this? And I was like, what? And then I heard it and I was like, wow. I'm not even a person who's like pro AI or anything like that. But when I heard it, I was like, I can't believe this exists. So I thought I'd share it with everybody. If you want to look up the song, just type in Frank Sinatra Chala Head Chala, bro. The scary thing about AI is that people are coming back to life with this, bro. People are coming back to life. People who we've lost are coming back to life, yo. Anyways, I hope y'all are doing well today. I really do. I hope you're safe and healthy. Today is September 1st, 2023. And today on the Geekdom 101 live stream, what I'm going to be talking about is I'm going to be clearing up a lot of the misconceptions and trying to answer, of course, your questions when it comes to the Dragon Ball Super behind the scenes changes. Because no matter what anybody will tell you, these changes are going to affect where Dragon Ball goes in the future, for better or for worse. If you were to ask me something like, do you think it'll be better or worse? It really is a thing where I can't answer that question. I can't tell you, hey, this is good news or hey, it's bad news. Some people think it's good, some people think it's bad, but the truth is there's a lot of misconceptions. I don't think a lot of people really know what this guy did. And I'm going to go over with you what his job duty was, why he's important, and what changes could be happening down the road. Akio-san not working for Shueisha anymore and not being the head of the Dragon Ball room, that could legitimately affect everything. Everything, like Dragon Ball games, movies, manga, anime. It probably won't, but it could. And it's something I want to make everybody aware of. So, of course, I am taking Super Chat questions. If you have a question, please feel free to ask it in the Super Chat. And I will be more than happy to answer it. We're going to go through a lot of the stuff here and see what's going to happen with Dragon Ball after this behind-the-scenes shakeup. This is a weird story, yo, because... It's a weird story because usually when things like this happen, the Japanese don't talk about it. You understand what I'm saying? When it happens here, every news site in the world reports on it. But the Japanese usually don't talk about it. Now, this story actually goes back to last year. It actually goes back to last year. And I already see people in the chat just asking about Toei. This is not necessarily going to affect Toei in the way that you think, but it could. The whole purpose of this stream is to explain to you exactly what's going on and discuss the possibilities for the future. Because, like I said, there's a lot of misconceptions out there and a lot of misinformation out there, and people seem to be doing that thing that I hate, where instead of actually having their own opinion, they jockstrap somebody else's. Formulate your own opinion, y'all. Like, formulate your own opinion. Because I saw a lot of hypocrisy yesterday. Now, I'm going to explain what I mean. I'm going to explain what I mean by all of this. Okay. So if you saw the video I put out yesterday, Akio Iyoku, the head of the Dragon Ball room, stepped down, resigned from being the head of the Dragon Ball room. He was also the Shueisha Jump magazine editor-in-chief. Editor-in-chief means that you're the boss. You know what I mean? You are the top guy in that particular franchise with that particular magazine. Now, if you're wondering about how it's going to affect other series that are in Jump, I don't think it will. But when it comes to Dragon Ball, it could very much affect it. So what he did was he stepped down and opened up a new company. Now, the new company he's opening up is a small company. It's not like a conglomerate like Shueisha and Toei is. And this company is called Capsule Corporation Tokyo. And I know that Capsule Corporation is literally the name of the company inside of the Dragon Ball universe that Bulma's family owns. But he created a real one. Not a real capsule, but a real Capsule Corp. So this guy, Iyoku, what people have to understand about him is, for better or for worse, some of you guys in the chat will like the fact that he may not be involved, and some will not. However, we don't know right now if he's going to stay on working with Dragon Ball or not. He opened up a new company, and the story is that he wants Shueisha to continue doing the manga, so somebody else is going to replace him as editor-in-chief, and he wants to take over the other aspects like Dragon Ball games, anime, etc. Now, the last time I streamed about something like this, I want to make this really, really clear to you. Really clear, so please pay attention to what I'm telling you. I streamed back in November, and I discussed the rumor about the web anime, right? And after that stream, I straight up said that I won't be discussing the web anime until there's an announcement. Because I don't want to put out videos. Like, I don't want to put out videos speculating on the web anime when there's no new information. There's literally no new information. And since that stream's come up, there's been a number of Twitter accounts who have popped up claiming to have sources. It's funny how when Dragon Ball Super was on the air, there was like 2 people who had sources. Now everybody seems to have a source. For some reason now, everyone in Japan's talking. But yet nobody knew about this. Fine, that's not really a big deal, but people are claiming this and that, trying to get clout off of this, off of having, I guess, like, wanting to get followers or whatever. Hang on 1 second here. Okay, so let me explain what I was trying to explain or whatever. When it comes to the web anime, I heard from one person, and I said this last year, and I heard from nobody else about the web anime. So because of that, I chose not to cover it because there's nothing else there's no other information. And I'm not going to milk content about something that I don't know about. I've already been accused of doing that from haters for years. Oh, you're milking Dragon Ball Super news. No, I cover Dragon Ball Super news, sweetheart. It's my job. And this is very big news. Some of y'all might not understand how big of a news this is, but it's very big because it could change what's going to happen with Dragon Ball. So let me go ahead and switch over to the other screen here, and I'm going to show you kind of what I'm talking about. So check it out. So this is Akio Iyoku. You've seen him on pretty much every major panel for the last couple of movies. He was there for the superhero panel. He was there, talking about Broly. He was there even before then. This is literally the guy. This guy right here is the guy who's been pushing Dragon Ball forward, for better or for worse. What I found strange yesterday is that I saw the same people that were hyping up Superhero, talking about how wonderful it was that Gohan got his break, when Gohan wasn't even supposed to be in that movie. Toriyama conceived that movie with Piccolo only as the lead. This right here is the guy who told him to include Gohan. This guy right here. So if you're happy that Gohan is back with a new form, if you're happy that he's relevant again, that's who you have to thank. Akio Iyoku. Dragon Ball Super Broly. Animation spectacle. People went nuts for it. Now they want this guy to get fired? Listen, nobody wants Dragon Ball to move forward more than me. Okay? I have said this time and time again on this channel, in streams and in videos. I want Dragon Ball to go in new directions. I don't want them. People say, oh, do you want Janemba and Cooler to come back? I wouldn't mind it, but I don't want them to stay doing the same crap. I want them to go into new directions, explore new universes. But it's weird to me that when the Trunks arc got announced, the Goku Black arc, until the ending, everybody loved it. Everybody was hyped every week for that, right? This is the guy who legit told Toriyama, tell a story about Trunks. This is the guy right here. This is the guy who has told Toriyama, tell a story about Trunks, make a Broly movie. And actually, the Broly movie's different because there were multiple ideas pitched and they decided on Broly. Because like I've told you guys a gazillion times, if you are a follower of this channel and if you listen, you'll know what I'm talking about, right? Dragon Ball is no longer now what it was in the 80s. In the 80s, it was Akira Toriyama drawing and writing the manga, and then Toei Animation doing the anime and the movies, right? And they were going on simultaneously. The anime was an adaptation of the manga. Toriyama would help with certain things in the anime, but it was a continuation of the manga, or an adaptation, I'm sorry. Now, that's not how it works. Unfortunately, now, Dragon Ball has become corporate. If you are in the Star Wars fandom, if you are in any fandom that is owned by Disney, like the MCU and any of that stuff, it's corporate now. Toriyama's not the guy who says, we're going to do this. That's not how it works. Instead, they get in a room and they try to figure out what's going to work. So Akio-san, right, and the rest of his crew in the Dragon Room, they analyze the numbers and they analyze what they're going to do and then pitch it to Toriyama to write. This is the guy right here. So when Dragon Ball Super Broly came out, he was the guy that chose, or that suggested, not chose, suggested that Broly come back and that Toriyama write for him. At the same time, if you remember, Toei created Kale. Unfortunately, y'all, Dragon Ball is corporate. That's just the way it is. I'm not saying that's good or bad. Well, no, let me take that back. It is bad. It is bad. And I don't want someone who's going to recycle material to stay on, right? I'm not saying that's a good thing. But it's just weird. It's weird that people are crucifying this guy when they're sitting there and they're like, oh my God, Superhero was awesome. Oh my God, Broly was awesome. I mean, pick a path here. You know, don't be a hypocrite. In my opinion, nobody should be lambasting him because his job is to make Dragon Ball money. Now, once again, I repeat, do I want them to go in new directions? Do I want new material? Of course I do. And everybody in the chat probably does too. Do I want them to move beyond just the same? Jonathan Garrett, I'll answer that question momentarily. I want them to move beyond just where they're at. I'm the guy who said in 2016 they have 10 years worth of material by going in the other universes. Instead, we're back on Earth. I don't like that. I'm not a fan of that. Now, here, this right here is a little bit more information about this. So Akio Iyoku is the liaison between Toriyama and everybody else. I want you to understand that Toriyama only talks to like 3 people. This idea that Toriyama works on Dragon Ball Super the anime, this idea that he's in Toei Studios working with them is BS. It's wrong. It's false. That's not how it works. And let me tell you something. I did not even, let me start that sentence over again. I didn't even know that until 2019. Because in 2019, there was a Dragon Quest documentary that came out that literally discussed Toriyama and Akio. The way it works is that Akio is the guy who talks to Toriyama. They come up with something, and then he gives those ideas to Shueisha, Toei, etc., etc. Right? You have to understand, there's like 3 people that talk to Toriyama. The entire anime staff does not talk to Toriyama. Did you know that most of the actors, and I know because I interviewed Horikawa like 5 years ago, did you know most of the actors who play the Dragon Ball characters in Dragon Ball have never met Toriyama? This guy Toriyama is weird, y'all. This dude does not leave the house. He has a lot of anxiety. He spends most of the time playing with model cars. This is actually documented. He doesn't go into meetings with, with Toei to decide the future. That's not how it works. Akio does, though. He talks to Akio. Basically, think about it like this. If Toriyama is the Emperor, Akio is Darth Vader. Does that make sense? I hope it does, because that's as clear as it can get. Now, I want to move on to some other things that Akio has influenced. So we got Broly, we got Superhero, Trunks coming back. What happened with Trunks is that at the time, if you remember, let's go back to 2016. Let's go back to 2016, y'all. In 2016, Xenoverse 2 was coming out, and Dokkan was starting to get a lot of traction. Right? Dokkan started to get, Dokkan started to get a lot of traction, bro. Right? So they decided, let's bring Trunks back. A lot of people wanted that. I was the guy who said they're never going to bring back Trunks. They're never going to bring back Broly. I didn't think they were going to do it, but they did. It's because of Akio. So he's the guy who made me look stupid. And I'm fine with that. Remember how in the next episode preview for Dragon Ball Super for the pre-Tournament of Power, there was a guy here, and then all of a sudden he gets bigger? This was supposed to be Jiren, and it was changed to Toppo. These are the kinds of changes that Akio can make for the series. So I want to explain to you how this actually works, because a lot of people just don't get it. And by the end of this stream, I think you will understand. I hope you will understand. I made this yesterday. I'm going to move myself off screen for a minute. So check it out. This is the actual corporate structure of how Dragon Ball works. Do you understand? So the way it works when it comes to Dragon Ball, right, is we have Toriyama, Bird Studios. Now, let me explain what Bird Studios is. Bird Studios is not a manga studio with 10,000 people. Bird Studios is Toriyama's company. Content creators, including myself, we have companies. We own companies. We own LLCs and S corps. Bird Studios is actually his company and the reason as to why he has a company is for tax benefits and things like that, and because he gets checks to Bird Studios, not to Toriyama, right? So check it out. So he's the creator, right? He is the creator. Then we have Shueisha. Now, Shueisha, besides Toriyama, Shueisha is the boss. And really, Shueisha is the most powerful entity here, because even though Toriyama's the owner, Shueisha can kind of do what they want. And Shueisha also has publishing rights to Dragon Ball. Nobody is going to be able to do anything involving Dragon Ball without Shueisha being approved. Shueisha is above Toei. You see Toei over here in the left? There has actually been a story. There's actually been a story, right, where the head of Shueisha, or one of the heads, has screamed at the head of Toei over something Dragon Ball related. If I remember correctly, something happened with Conan O'Brien, where Conan O'Brien said that Super Boo's head looked like a dick. I think that's what it was. He said that Super Boo's head looked like a penis. And I guess Shueisha got really mad because Toei allowed him to do that. I don't know the whole story, y'all. I'm giving you hearsay. And Shueisha was pissed about it. So over on the left side, we have the anime. On the right side, we have the games. Right? If we scroll down, Toei is in charge. Oh, Toei is above other dub studios like Crunchyroll, Funimation, and the international studios. The international studios are people who dub Dragon Ball in other countries. The Latin American dub, the German dub, the French dub, whatever country you're from. Many of you guys are watching me from other countries. Those companies have to answer to Toei. Funimation has to answer to Toei. You understand? Funimation has to answer to Toei. This is why you have weird shit in Dragon Ball. This is why Ultra Instinct was renamed Autonomous Ultra Instinct, because of Toei USA. The people who dubbed Dragon Ball, Chris Sabat and those guys, and Sean Schemmel, the whole cast, they didn't want to call it Autonomous Ultra Instinct, but Toei told them to call it that. I thought it was stupid. It's extra words. But no, that's literally what happened. Toei are the ones that removed Team 4-Star from Dragon Ball Z Kai when Team 4-Star used to be planned to play the Mr. Satan Z movie in the Buu Saga. Right? So then we have Fuji TV. Fuji TV is the television station that is contracted to air Dragon Ball. So every time Dragon Ball has aired, whether it be Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, or Dragon Ball Super, it's been on Fuji television. You understand? But Toei has to answer to Shueisha. Over here on the right side of the tree, we've got Bandai, and they do all the games. And then Banpresto and Figuarts and all the other sub-games are usually beneath Bandai. Some have communication with Toei, but usually they're underneath Bandai. So if you want another gaming company to take control of Dragon Ball, it's probably not going to happen because Bandai does a lot of Japanese stuff, yo. Bandai also does like the Japanese Power Ranger toys, and like they do a lot of toys, you know, and video games. Right? Now, what Akio wants to do, right? What Akio wants to do, listen to what I'm telling you. Capsule Corp Tokyo, I brought a question mark there. He wants to take over Shueisha's job of controlling the anime and the games. So in other words, Capsule Corp Tokyo would fit right there in the middle. Shueisha would still do the manga, but Capsule Corp Tokyo would be in charge of the anime and the games. Now, I'm going to come back on screen here for a minute. So, what does this mean? Here's what people have to understand. Akio is more important to Dragon Ball than people realize. Now, can he be replaced? Sure he can. No argument there. But he's not going to be replaced with some random guy that nobody knows. It's not going to, like, the guy who replaces him, what you have to understand is that Akio has a strong relationship with Toriyama. Akio has a very strong relationship with Toriyama. For years, they've had trust. You know that people that work on Dragon Ball don't have Toriyama's email. They don't have his freaking phone number. That's not how it works. Akio does. Everything Dragon Ball goes through him. And I've said this a gazillion times. He's the second most important person behind Toriyama. I would say he's even more important than Toyotaro. And I mean that. I mean it. It would go Toriyama, Akio, then you've got like Victory Uchida and Toyotaro beneath them. So, What people have to understand is one of the things I've been hearing from people, right? People have been saying, oh, the reason why he's leaving Shueisha is because Shueisha is blocking him from making more Dragon Ball anime. So Akio, the rumor, I'm going to address it here in a minute, is that Akio wants to do more anime content. He wants to do what everybody's been waiting for. More Dragon Ball movies, more Dragon Ball anime, all that stuff everyone's waiting for. And Shueisha, the rumor is that Shueisha doesn't want him to do it. So he's saying, well, screw you. I'm going to start a new company and handle it myself. The problem is that as of right now, we do not know what's going to happen. That's the issue. We don't know. Like, we don't know. Like, we can speculate, but we don't know what's going to happen. But it's very important because I don't agree with everything Akio Iyoku has done. I don't agree with everything he's done. You understand? But he's the guy who's been pushing Dragon Ball to move forward from a while. You understand what I'm saying? That's the guy. So, if they were to replace him, this new person would have to take over his duties, which means they would basically have to communicate with Toriyama, establish a relationship with him, one of trust, and then when that happens, then we can get more product. The reality is, we don't know what's going to happen with this. This could delay the anime even further. Or it might not. That's a question that I can't answer, but it could, because there has to be communication. There has to be synergy. And I explained in this slide right here how the synergy works. So now you know. So Toei ain't gonna do shit until Shueisha approves it. It's just not gonna happen. Like, you know, it's not. It is what it is. One of the theories that I heard yesterday, and I'm gonna answer this right now, because I know y'all are asking, or you all are probably asking this question, or you're curious of this question. One of the questions I heard yesterday was, I think the guy's mowing my lawn. Can you hear that? It's kind of distracting me, yo. This guy, I think this guy's. I thought I told the guy to come back next week, but he might already be doing it. Anyways, let me get to what I was gonna say here. So, somebody said, is this why the web anime has not come yet? That's possible. We found out yesterday that this controversy started in June of 2022. Shueisha wanted to move Akio to a different department, and he didn't want to because Akio really wants to work on Dragon Ball. He really wants to work on Dragon Ball. So, let me get to some of these super chats real quick, because I got a few of them in here. Amari asked, I'm taking the wait and see approach because there isn't much info about this story besides what's already been confirmed. Plus, we don't really know how this story will affect Dragon Ball in the long run. Well, I'm going to talk about that here in a minute, how it could affect Dragon Ball in the long run. I'm going to talk about that here in just a moment. But I want to get the next question here. Wisco Dipper says, hey, Danny, I'm sorry, but can you explain why Dragon Ball isn't really as dark as it used to be? I know you explained it once, but I didn't pick up on it. Will it ever be as dark as Z? I'm not sure what you mean by dark. If you're talking about violence, like actual violence, it's because Japanese television broadcast standards have changed. And because of that, Dragon Ball Super will never be as bloody as Dragon Ball Z. It's just not going to happen. I wish it was. Trust me, I'm on your side. I wish it was, but it's never going to happen. Dragon Ball overall is not really a dark story, but it does have its dark moments, as many of you know. But I see your point. Z felt darker. I would agree with that. Dragon Ball Super did feel more lighthearted, but it's probably because of television standards. The manga, the Dragon Ball Super manga, that has been way more violent, bro. Way more violent. So if you're just coming into the stream now, this stream will be available so you can rewind it and watch the entire thing from the beginning. I already explained as much as there's more I'm going to talk about, but if you're just coming in now late, I can't just start over explaining it, dude, because then someone else is going to jump in and say, can you start over? Can you start over? Can you start over? Can you start over? Rewind the stream, bro. So, anyways, I hope that answers your question, Wisco. I don't know if that's really what you wanted to know, but I hope that answers your question. Kazuki Araya says, I feel like if they do a third DBS movie, it might be around the Gods and Oob, because DBS Broly was Freezer Saiyan Saga, Superhero was like the Android Saga. So you're basically saying that they're kind of emulating the past. Well, he said Gods and Oob. I don't know if I said Boo or Oob. But anyways, I feel like if they do a third DBS movie, okay, that could happen. I'm not sure. By the way, we got over 1,000 people in here, bro. Leave a like. What are you doing? Leave a like. If you're stopping by here, man, leave a like. It helps the channel out. It helps me out. Let's get the word out about this stream because people are really, really confused about this. And I don't know why I'm getting questions about the anime. I never said anything about the anime coming back, dude. I'm saying that this could delay it even further. I don't know why you're asking. I mean, you can ask me whatever you want. It's just a weird question because I haven't really talked about that. Phantom Flame says, could Bird Studios factor into this? I explained that earlier. I don't know if you came in late or not, but Bird Studios is the story and the characters belong to Bird Studios. That's the Toriyama's company is Bird Studios. That's his company. That represents him. You understand? They're above everybody. But he's the creator, but Akio is the one that's been pushing ideas to him. This guy right here is the guy who's been pushing ideas to Toriyama. Do you understand? This is the guy who's been pushing Toriyama to write more stuff. So if he steps down, if he's removed from the equation, you may not get what you want, bro. You may not get a new anime. You may. I'm not saying you're not gonna get it, but this is the guy who pushes stuff. Now, I'm gonna go over two different scenarios here in a minute that could happen, okay? Chris R says, would this potentially make it possible for other anime studios to do Dragon Ball? No, this has nothing to do, like I said earlier, this has nothing to do with Toei Animation. Dragon Ball's not leaving Toei, bro. Like, this idea people have, Studio Pierrot should do it. It's not happening, dude. It's not. Y'all gotta wake up, man. Y'all gotta stop having, like, expectations like that. Toei ain't going nowhere, dude. Do I want them to stop doing Dragon Ball? Fuck yeah, I do. I do not like Toei Animation at all. They're not going nowhere, man. I'm telling you on that. I wish that we did get that. I do wish that, but this is not going to happen. Mr. Excuse Me said, can Toriyama overrule Shueisha and tell them that Iyoku's plan is the plan? Honestly, all I want is for the anime to come back and have a new studio take over. The current animation style is so dated. You're not going to get a new studio taking over. Like, get that out of your head, bro. It's just not going to happen. I'm telling you, I'm not going to bullshit you, bro. I'm not going to sit here and play like, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like, oh, well, perhaps. It's going to take a lot for that to happen, bro. It takes a lot. This contract with Toei has been in place for decades. You understand? Decades. As much as I want it to be like that, like I do want that, it's just not going to happen. Now, to answer your question, though, can Toriyama overrule Shueisha? Yeah, I mean, he could. He could overrule them. He could say, no, I want to do this, and they would listen. That's something I want people to understand. If Toriyama went to Shueisha tomorrow and said, we're doing what Akio-san wants, they couldn't do shit about it. They could stop him, but they won't because they respect him too much. So that could happen, but the question is, will it happen? Because it might not happen. Here's what I'm trying to explain to you. The ideas that we've been getting for Dragon Ball Super that are fan servicey, Frieza coming, well, not Frieza coming back, but Trunks coming back. Caulifla was more of a Toriyama idea, but, excuse me. Trunks coming back. Broly, superhero. These have all been ideas that Akio has pushed. So Akio, let me give you an example. Akio will go to Toriyama. Leave a like, by the way, man. I got 436 likes and 1,000 people watching. Come on, get that like counter up, man. I really would appreciate that. You're not going to get this information anywhere else, bro, because nobody else knows about this shit. Well, that's not true. There's a couple people that do know, but most of them don't even do YouTube anymore. So, trust me, you're going to get exclusive shit here. This is literally how it works. So let me give you a scenario so that you'll understand. So Akio will look at the numbers. I don't have a piece of paper I can show you here. Here, let me use this piece of paper right here. So let's pretend that, okay, so check it out. Listen to what I'm, thank you for leaving a like, by the way. Listen to what I'm about to show you right here. So let's pretend this is like data. This is like information. This is information, research information. So Akio will look at this and say, Toriyama sensei, Gohan's really popular. For the next movie, is there any way we could give him the spotlight? And then Toriyama would say, well, I wanted Piccolo to be the main character. And then Akio would say, well, Gohan wasn't in Broly. He has a lot of fans. I think that Gohan fans would appreciate that. Hold on a minute, bro. I'm going to ban this guy because I've given him like a lot of fucking... I don't know where my mods are at. I've given him a lot of fucking breaks and he's been an asshole the whole stream, so I'm just going to ban him, bro. Anyways, so he's the guy who will tell fucking Toriyama, like, hey, Gohan's popular, and Toriyama will write him into the story. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully that makes sense. Hold on one second. Hold on one moment. Anyways, let's get back into what I was telling you. So, let me tell you the two different possibilities. By the way, if you want to submit a question, I'm taking super chat questions now. I've got one more that I'm going to answer from Itchy Balls, but I'll give you all a chance to submit your questions. So let me give you the scenarios of what could happen. On one side, we could have a new guy step in, look, let me go back to the chart. On one hand, we could have a new guy step in and push Toriyama further to make new stuff, and we'll actually get a ton of new stuff. A new guy that'll take Akio's job, which somebody's gonna take his job anyways. We just don't know how it affects Dragon Ball. And if that happens, then maybe we'll get somebody with fresh ideas, right? New ideas, who can bounce ideas off of Toyotaro and Toriyama and give us something new. That's what I think people like Anime AJ want. And I agree with that. I would also like that. I would also like that. That's the good trajectory. Now, the bad trajectory is if Capsule Corp Tokyo is not established, or if it is established and Akio just doesn't work on Dragon Ball anymore, then the person who takes his job might not care enough to actually push Dragon Ball. You understand? So people who are celebrating this guy stepping down don't understand that this could have major ramifications, because he was the guy that was legit making suggestions to Toriyama. And if there's nobody there to do it, then what's going to happen? Or the worst scenario is whoever replaces him is going to be worse at their job. And that could happen. I'm being dead ass with you. Like, that could legitimately happen. Somebody could replace him and be worse at it. Let me get the super chats here. Itchyball69 says, when do you think the Sandland Japanese Blu-ray will come out? I have no idea, bro. I cannot answer that because I swear to you, I don't know. I do not know. Also, what are you eating for dinner tonight? I'm actually not eating dinner tonight. I'm fasting tonight. I already ate earlier, and I had like eggs and shit. That was earlier in the day. No, Akio is not officially out. If Akio is out. Shueisha does not want to give up control of the anime and the games to somebody else. But that's what he wants. That's why I told y'all yesterday, this is a developing story. This story's still ongoing, man. Yes, pick Pokemon Trainer Emerald. It's a possibility it could be bad. It could be bad. It could be good. It could be better. Next question. If or when the Super Anime is continued, how would they animate stuff from the Moro arc? Like when Moro literally stabbed Goku with his arm through the chest. It was awesome, but how could they nowadays with different rules? Great question from Crashmaster. That is a great question. I'd be more than happy to answer it. Number one, I'm not entirely sure how they could animate that to have it be, you know, I'm not entirely sure how they would do it, but one thing's for sure, they would definitely center out a lot of the blood. We might get a little bit of blood, or we might get like the black lines, like the dark circles of the impalement, but it's certainly not going to be as violent. And that's just, I'm just being honest with you. I would love it if Dragon Ball went back to how it was in the 90s, where it was super fucking violent. That's probably not going to happen. I mean, we'll probably see the stabbing, but it'll go through him, right? Like, remember when Goku Black stabbed Goku in the Goku Black arc? Remember how he stabbed him and he was up against that wall and shit? It'll be like that, where you'll see the stabbing, but you won't see blood. That's my guess. That's my guess. But unfortunately, the truth is, the Dragon Ball Super anime will never be as violent as the manga because of that change. So, yeah. Hold on. There's somebody in the chat who's asking me all these questions. Right? And, like, he's asking me questions that I literally can't answer. Will Kubota reanimate and redo Dragon Ball and Z? Like, dude, I've already done a video about that, yo. Like, I can't answer these questions because I can't predict the future. If you think I somehow can get a crystal ball and say, oh, Dragon Ball, let's see here. Okay, the web anime's coming in 2028, the next movie. No, I can't do that. And I wouldn't do that to you because I'd be bullshitting you. And I don't want to bullshit you. Thomas Jeffers says, first, glad that storm passed you straight, but prayers to the others that did. Yeah, I didn't have any issues except for some rain. Second, do you think Tank will also be delayed? I think you're okay. I'm guessing Tank is Tenkaichi 4, and no, I don't think it'll be delayed. I do not think so. I don't think this Akio thing is gonna delay any projects that are already in the works. You understand what I'm saying? I don't think it's going to delay any current projects. But what I'm trying to tell you is this. Akio leaving and stepping down and wanting to start his own company, all he wants to do, right, is to have a separate company, still work with Toriyama, but I think his goal is to bring back the Dragon Ball Super anime or do a web anime or whatever, do more anime content. And I think Shueisha are the ones that are stopping it. In fact, there was a report that came out 2 years ago, if you remember, I did a video on it, where I discussed the fact that Shueisha was the one that was putting the brakes on the anime to let the manga catch up. In fact, if you go all the way back, if you actually, and again, nobody does this, but there's channels on there's videos on the channel that go through this. If you go even further back, Toyotaro himself said, eventually I'm going to catch up with the anime. Now, he already caught up with the anime and he's past it. Now the anime's behind. So, Devin Lott says, how are you feeling today? I'm feeling great. I'm actually feeling great, bro. I am in a good mood. Thank you for the compliment. Memes of Destruction says, hi friends, keep doing you, brother. Love, love. Yes, yes. Spread love out today, y'all. Spread love out today. Steven Acosta with the $5 holla. Thank you so much for the donation. Means a lot to me. So, Akio is the guy. Everybody's saying like, you know, we're glad this guy's gone, this and that. Dragon Ball won't move forward, this and that. It's so weird because these same people were praising Broly and praising Superhero. I don't understand it. This fandom is so confusing to me because they will literally flip like that on anything, yo. They're so emotional. How can you sit there and say that you love Broly and you love Superhero and you love the shit that's going on now and not understand that Akio's the one responsible? Also, if something sucks, it's not always Akio's fault. Toriyama ain't that good of a writer anymore. Let's keep it real. He's just not. But I thought he did great with Broly and Superhero. I thought his script was fine. There's some problems, but it was fine. Thank you, Tyrick. Itchy Ball says, what if the new Dragon Ball was released on a streaming service instead of Japan TV stations? Do you think they would include blood and gore or still no? Great question from Itchy Balls. That's a great question, yo. That is a great question. What if the new Dragon Ball was released on a streaming service instead of Japan TV stations? If there's more Dragon Ball on streaming services, that changes a lot. That changes a lot. So short answer is yes. Yes. With thank you G Milton with the $4.99 holla. Appreciate it. It means a lot to me that y'all are here spending your Friday afternoon with me. But anyways, Yeah, if Dragon Ball went to streaming, if there was a new Dragon Ball anime and it was streaming, right? That would change a lot because they could do things that are even more violent than shit from Z. Like, if they were on streaming and the streaming service was cool with it, like, because most streaming services are they don't have the same rules as Japanese TV, right? So, yes, to answer your question, yes, that would be awesome. Awesome, yo. Thank you for the donation, BOKC DJ Griffin. What did I miss? Well, the good news is, bro, the stream's gonna be archived, so you can go back. What I explained to everybody on the stream so far is I explained the Akio Iyoku situation in detail, what's going on. I explained the power structure of how shit works in Japan, and I explained kind of what this means. What I'm trying to tell y'all is that there are multiple different ways this could go. A, the new editor comes in, keeps pushing more Dragon Ball, and we get better stuff. B, a new editor comes in who sucks, and we get worse stuff, and Toriyama just doesn't want to work with him. Or C, Akio does get control of the anime and video games. And to be perfectly honest with you, part of me kind of wants that to happen, right? Part of me kind of wants that to happen because I'm pretty certain that Akio was the guy who wanted more Dragon Ball anime coming, and Shueisha stopped him. I could be wrong on that. I'm not saying that for certain. I'm saying if you were to put a gun to my head and say, what do you think? I would say, I think that's ultimately what he wants. I think he wants to put more Dragon Ball product out there. Yes, he does do recycled stuff. That is true. He does do recycled stuff. I'm not going to deny that. But I would rather good recycled stuff than nothing at all. That's the weird thing about Dragon Ball fans. Like, I don't understand why Dragon Ball fans would not want more good stuff. I understand if you don't want more BS and more crap. But more good stuff. Why not? Why wouldn't you want that? Like, why every Dragon Ball fan wants good stuff, right? Like, and I agree with you, BOKC DJ. I'm gonna call you DJ Griffin, bro. DJ Griffin's easier. I agree with what you said in the chat. I want the franchise to move forward. I agree. No argument there. Yes, I agree with Alsemno Pat. The best option is stuff that's not recycled but good. We want story. I agree with that. The thing is, I don't think y'all understand. I'm on your side here. As much as I think it would be cool to see Cooler get rebooted or Janemba, I'm literally like in the same boat that you guys are in. The same exact boat. I want new villains. I want other universes. If you've been on my channel, you know I've been wanting this shit for a long time. I've been bitching and moaning about how we're still in fucking Universe 7, and now we're doing the boring ass superhero arc that nobody cares about because the movie's already a year old. I'm in the same, we're in agreement there, dude. Ultra Media X, I love you for that. I love you for what you said. That was funny. You put a smile on my face, bro. Anyways. So, okay. I keep getting questions about the manga. So, the superhero arc is continuing in the manga. And I believe it's going to end in November. And I think the new arc is going to start either in December or January, depending on whether or not they announce it at Jump Festa. I saw the Jump Festa stages, and there's nothing there about Dragon Ball, so I'm not expecting it, but they could always add something. I'm not expecting it, but they could always add something. And I do want them to move forward, yo. As far as Black Frieza, because I see some people asking about Black Frieza. That could be the next arc, or it could be like something else and then Black Frieza. I agree with you, Zachary. I agree with you on that. Let me get these super chats. I got 3 new ones here. Drip Check says, superhero moral granola is trash, lost a lot of fans. Well, I agree with some of what you said, but superhero was actually kind of successful in spite of the bad promotion. Mount Watermelon, that's a great name. Mount Watermelon says, how does Dragon Ball Heroes fit in? If no one's talking to Toriyama, would the new anime, if it came out, be more like that or GT? Someone's gonna talk to Toriyama, bro. That's not okay. First of all, how does Heroes fit in? Let's get back to the chart right here. Heroes, let me make sure I'm not on screen for this. Hold on. I'm gonna answer your question by showing you the answer. Heroes falls under right here. Other merch. Or I'm sorry, my bad. Bandai. Heroes is Bandai. Toriyama will design some things for Heroes, but Bandai is the company that pushes out Heroes. However, there are hero stories that are concocted in the Dragon Ball room. Basically, yo, if you want me to break it down as simple as possible, if you really want me to make it easier for y'all, all Akio wants to do is take the idea of the Dragon Ball room and give it its own company. It's more complicated than that, but that's the easiest way to break it down. Make sure, if you're stopping by, leave a like. We got over 1,000 people again, so please leave a like if you're stopping by, and I appreciate it. So that's where Heroes fits in. Heroes is not going to affect anything, bro, because it is what it is. Clifton, I just want new good stuff. That's it. Anyways, let me get back to this other question here. Phantom Flame asks, allegedly this move leaning more into a new company wanting to use the franchise as a stepping stone to gain control or fan love moving forward. I hope so. I can't, again, guys, I cannot predict the future. All I'm doing is giving you the different possibilities. You know what I mean? Like the different possibilities of what could happen. I do think that Akio being in charge of a new company is probably a good move. And I'd rather the enemy that I know versus the enemy that I don't know. Again, I would rather have Dragon Ball do nostalgia bait and have it be okay than have none at all. You understand what I'm saying? And this new guy, if they get somebody to replace Akio and they tell him to fuck off, God knows what that's gonna mean. We're in the unknown, bro. This is a developing story. I'm doing a stream about it today to answer questions, but this is a developing story, dude. We don't have everything yet. Unfortunately, we don't have everything. But I think you're right. I think he actually does want the fans to be happy. I think he does. I don't think it's about money. I really don't. Okay, N Simmons 211 says, I understand the worry with the Yoku, but they're putting out new games and you can't use the new characters. Shueisha's moving backwards with how they're handling Dragon Ball. Yes. I do not like Shueisha and the way they're handling Dragon Ball. I don't like Shueisha. I don't like Toei. I'm just being real with you, man. I don't. Like, it's mind-boggling to me. I don't know why I'm getting phone calls in the middle of this damn... Oh, it's a solicitor. Yeah, I'm hanging up on them. So, anyways, yeah, that was my office number. So, what was I saying? It's mind-boggling to me, yo, that Dragon Ball is so fucking popular internationally. Dragon Ball has now penetrated India and China. You know, India and China have like ridiculous populations. Dragon Ball has now penetrated India and China, yo. Like, Dragon Ball is probably the biggest anime maybe ever, or at least in the top 3, right? So it's weird. It's weird that this company is just not putting out more manga stories, more anime. The Dragon Ball room, bro, needs like I don't want it just to be Akio. They need new blood. They need fresh, young talent to actually make Dragon Ball better. You know what I'm saying? I don't like the way they're handling it either. Dan the Man says, I wish Dragon Ball was like Kakume in tone. More serious stories, feat showings and violence, but also lighthearted moments and character building. I haven't read Kakume. I tried to, but I never got around to it. But I've heard good things. Which, by the way, y'all, I've got a very big project coming out on this channel that's going to blow your minds. Something I've never done before. It's Kakume-like. And if you're a fan of like Abridged and things like that, you're going to love this, bro. It's a brand new, I have not talked about it publicly yet. It's a brand new project, and I've got some of your favorites working on it, bro. You're not going to believe who is involved, yo. You are not going to believe who I got, bro. I can't reveal it yet because we're about only halfway done with it. Once we get close to 80% done, I'm going to start dropping teasers and trailers. You are not going to believe it. I promise you, you'll be happy. I promise you, you'll enjoy it, bro. It's something I've never done before, so it's taken a while to kind of, figure it out. But I'm so excited, dude. Oscar, that's funny, bro. Oscar Senju says DB has penetrated me many times, bro. Oh, man. Anyways, yeah, I want Dragon Ball to be both lighthearted and serious at times. Ichiball69 writes, what type of music would Goku listen to? Probably like kung fu music. Like Asian kung fu music. That's my guess. I could be wrong. G. Milton says, can we talk about Gohan's hair? Why couldn't they just give him Super Saiyan 3 length, grow his tail back, keep same eyes, DBS just doing anything? I don't know what, because they didn't want to? Like, these questions are weird, bro, because here's why the question's weird. And I appreciate the question, but here's why it's weird for me to answer it. You're asking why couldn't they do this, but what you're asking about is something that you want, right? They don't know you. Like if you were Akio, check it out. If you were Akio, you could fucking tell Toriyama to do that. But unfortunately, he's the guy with the job. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's a weird question because if you're asking why they didn't change the way he looks, I don't know. Why does Beast Gohan look like that? It's supposed to be a throwback to SS2 Gohan with a different hairstyle. I mean, Toriyama already talked about that. But like this idea, like you're basically wanting the original design of Super Saiyan God, and that was rejected by Toriyama. So what you want, Toriyama wouldn't even do. So it's just something that, you just gotta understand, bro. Like it's something that I can't answer your question, but all I can say is that presumably Toriyama didn't want to do that. The one thing about Toriyama is if he doesn't want to do something, he ain't going to do it, bro. Wisco Dipper says, Dragon Ball Z Funimation dub sucks, but a guilty pleasure with the Falconer soundtrack and nostalgia. Thanks. All right. I mean, I appreciate your opinion, bro. Thank you. That's not really a question, but I appreciate your opinion. Slick and Mean says, I think it's a concerning time, but I'm hopeful. Well, it is, because people don't know what they're talking about. This could be good news and it could be bad news. If Akio is not there, bro, who's going to be the guy to light a fire in Toriyama's ass? If there's nobody there, who's going to be the guy to light a fire in Toriyama's ass? I can tell you one thing, though. I'm going to share something with you right now. I'm going to share a scoop with you right now. Okay? I'm going to give you all a little bit of context. This is why you're here, for this, what I'm about to tell you. So listen to what I'm about to tell you. So, at Anime Expo a few years ago, Akio was there, right? Akio does come to America. He had lunch with somebody I know, and at that lunch, listen to what I'm telling you, listen, at that lunch, he was already talking about Dragon Ball Super returning. Now listen, this was 2018. 2018, no, this is 2019. Remember how I reported that Super was coming back in 2019? And oh my God, Geekdom was wrong. Oh God, Geekdom was wrong. Oh, please come on my face, Geekdom. I'm obsessed with making sure the world knows you were wrong. I wasn't wrong because I reported the truth. Akio was one of the guys who said that the anime was coming back, right? So, wouldn't it make sense that Akio's pissed off because the anime's not come back? Did you remember how a year ago in January he's like, we have more stuff coming? Don't you know that the reason as to why Akio is even resigning is because he's sick of Shueisha's bullshit? What if you were Akio? What if you were Akio and you went to Shueisha and you said, we got to do more Dragon Ball? And Shueisha said, no, we're not doing any more Dragon Ball. Right? Wouldn't that piss you off? Wouldn't you say to yourself, fuck this company? That's what happened. That's what happened, yo. That is what happened. This man was the guy pushing for the anime to come back. And Shueisha was like, nah. And like I told you, Toei ain't gonna do shit until Shueisha approves it. There's the chart. I made this yesterday for you guys. I literally made this yesterday for this stream. So that you can understand. Wouldn't it make sense if you were Akio, right? I want y'all to put yourself in his spot. You want to produce more Dragon Ball. Your boss tells you, no, we're not doing that. And you say, you know what? I'm going to start a new company and do it myself. But he can't do it without Shueisha approving it. You know what I'm saying? That's literally what I think happened. That's what I think happened. I think that Dragon Ball Super was completely supposed to come back way back when, and it was Akio that was pushing it, and then Toei was like, nah. Or not Toei, I'm sorry, Shueisha was like, nah, let's not do that right now. Even though Fuji TV was also involved in that. You gotta understand, bro, none of this shit. No, Super Elite, it's not a PowerPoint, but I appreciate that. You have to understand, bro, none of this shit is bullshit. None of this shit is bullshit, bro. None of this is an accident. Yoav Israeli. Okay, I see what you said. Give me just a moment to answer these. Let me answer these super chats, okay? Itchy Ball says, Psychic Wars is a really bad OVA from 1991 from Toei. I recommend checking it out if you want a good brain rot. Maybe, bro. I never heard of it. Julius Irvin said, so basically the future of Dragon Ball hedges on whether or not Akio is able to move the rights of Dragon Ball into his CCT company. That's part of it. That's part of it. That's part of it, yeah. Or Shueisha could hire somebody to replace him and tell him to fuck off. Those are the different options, and I've given you guys that on the stream. Chev Maddox says, what's the best quality physical DBZ release with Bruce's music? I want to buy a box set, but only with the Bruce Faulkner score. Well, first of all, it's not Bruce's music because he produced almost none of it. I did a concert here on this channel with the real producers about 2 months ago. So I know what you mean, but it's not Bruce's fucking music, bro. Bruce Faulkner can shampoo my crotch, bro. Bruce Faulkner refused to give credit to the guys who he fucking plagiarized from. Now, you're saying that you want to listen to the Bruce Faulkner score. I'm sorry, but that would mean you're watching it with the dub, and that's not good. But I'm going to answer your question. I guess the best thing you can do is get the 30th anniversary sets that are on Amazon. They're the newest 4x3 Dragon Ball Z sets. Those have the Bruce music on them, but it's not a very good remaster, but that's the answer to your question. You know what I mean? Like, that's the answer. So now I will tell you this, Chevmatic, those Amazon sets that I'm telling you about, those steel books are really expensive, bro. Like, they're way overpriced. Chevmatic, I want you to look at the camera for a minute. Look at what I'm telling you. If you really want to get it in the best quality, look at me, look. You're going to have to find a good friend, get to know a good friend of mine known as Tory Rent. How many of you on the chat know who Tory Rent is? Not Toriyama, Tory Rent. So Tory Rent is a great friend of mine. Tory Rent can get me anything I want, including what you're looking for. XDMA, have you done a video on the Bruce thing? I've done 4 videos on the Bruce thing, bro. 4. No, I'm not confusing Bruce with Kenji Yamamoto. Bro, I've covered this on the channel. I have 4 videos. You think I would confuse fucking fat Bruce Faulkner with fucking Japanese Yamamoto, bro? You think I'm that stupid? So again, Tory Rent. Let me continue asking these questions, or let me continue answering these questions. WG Phil. Go to my channel and type in Bruce Faulkner in the search bar and watch the Bruce videos I did. I don't have time to answer because if I answer the questions, you're gonna have more questions. So just look up the video. I did the video years ago. Okay, so anyways, Self-Loathing Gives Me Life. What a name. He says, why is Shueisha so hesitant to bring back Dragon Ball? They literally have nothing to lose. I don't know. It could be because they want the manga to catch up. I don't know. I do not know. If I knew that, I would have told you already. Brammer Hammer 23. It seems the end of the day, it comes down to what Akira Toriyama wants, and he could only really care how everything shakes down. He gets paid anyways. That's true. That's true. Are you scared for the future of DB? No, not really. But there's a lot of different things that could happen, and that's what this stream is for. I'm trying to tell you all the different... Yes, this could be good news. It could not be good news. But the fact that he's starting his own company, right, and wants to take over Dragon Ball, if they do let him do that, that's going to be good news because he's probably going to push out the anime. And Lord knows everybody in the chat loves to ask about the anime. When is it coming? I don't know. Is it coming? I don't know. No one's talking about this, bro. Do you think Toriyama demands the return of the anime soon? No, I don't know. I don't know what Toriyama is demanding. I can't answer that question. Henry G, go to my channel and type in, go to Geekdom 101 channel and type in Disney Dragon Ball in the search, in the channel search. Just do that for me. I don't hate you, Niwi. I just think you have a cringe opinion. Doesn't mean I hate you. You're just wrong. Tory Rent, I just got that. I'm familiar with him, but would like to have a box set if possible. Well, I mean, listen, Chevmatic, man. I'm just letting you know that it's that what you're looking for is not cheap. They have overpriced those Blu-rays, dude. Like, I'm dead ass with you, bro. I'm only telling you that because I care about your wallet. They have overpriced those Blu-rays, my man. I'm serious when I tell you that. They're way too fucking expensive. Like, they're way overpriced considering what you get with them. Itchy Ball says Toriyama's evading taxes right now. Anyways, all right. Well, I think that should be it. I can't think of anything else. I've already explained everything as best I could. As far as new stuff coming, it's all going to come down to whether or not this deal goes through and what happens after that. If you're coming in the stream to see when new stuff is coming or whatever, when it comes to anime and movies, it's all going to come down to that. But Akio was the one that was pushing the next movie as well, so that might also be delayed. I couldn't tell you. The point is that this deal, I'll be covering this story very closely with you guys. So if I get more information, I'll let you know. It's just one of those things where it is what it is, bro. I do genuinely hope that things work out for the best for everyone. And I do genuinely hope that this is resolved. So, you know what I'm saying? And that whatever happens, happens. I do want Dragon Ball to go in a new direction, but I don't want it to not go in any direction, which is a possibility. Crashmaster, let me answer this super chat from Crashmaster here. What are your thoughts on Xenoverse and Heroes characters and storylines? I know the promo anime isn't a favor of yours, but what about the games? I personally love XV1 and 2, but that's just me. No, it's not just you. That's a lot of people. And it's a lot of people like those games. And it's very popular. I do love the Xenoverse and Heroes characters. I love those ideas. I love the time breakers and all that shit, dude. I love all that shit. So, yes, I do love all of that. I'm with you on that one, yo. Listen, though, thanks for stopping by. Hopefully you have more of an understanding of what's going on here behind the scenes. I'll be back tomorrow on Twitch at noon. No, I'm sorry, at 1 p.m. Eastern. 1 p.m. Eastern tomorrow at Twitch. We're watching 2 more episodes of Dragon Ball. If you have never joined us, you need to join us because it's a good time. It's always a good time, dude. But Akio stepping down, right, could have major ramifications for the future because we might not get anything else. Or if Capsule Corp Tokyo does take over, we might get more stuff. I mean, we're going to get more stuff in the manga, but I'm talking about beyond that. Manga will continue. Dragon Ball Super's manga will continue. When it comes to anything else, Akio stepping down will be depending on whether or not he gets control or if the next guy can push for it. That's really what it comes down to, yo. So once again, you got to be patient and stop waiting. Like, y'all got to stop waiting for this shit, man. Y'all got to do something else. Like, you know, do something else in the meantime. Because I see people that are so emotionally attached. Like, oh my God, please. And they're you know, if you go to Toei's like Twitter and you're telling them bring back Super, it ain't going to work. They've been seeing hundreds of people for fucking years. Hundreds of tweets about bring back Super. They don't care. They don't care about us. You know? So it is what it is, bro. It is what it is. The future is uncertain yet. We will see what happens with this Akio story. I just made this stream to help y'all understand it because there's a lot of confusing shit. And I answered your questions. So anyways, I'm out. Take care. See you in the near future tomorrow on Twitch. Don't be a stranger.